Well, one of the things that I've always loved is the idea of travel. I'm Sagittarian, and so Sagittarians have this desire to travel, or at least to move around. So one of the great spin-offs of my having a relationship with Kieran, because he worked for a airline, meant that I could go away with him on some of the trips that he had. And around the time that we first met, I guess, the company that he worked for started to do flights to Australia. And so I was able to go on not one but two, I think, of these trips. They were interesting because you flew from Gatwick to, first of all, Bahrain, and then got off in Bahrain and spent one night there. And then the next day you picked up the next flight that was coming from Gatwick to go to Singapore. And when you got to Singapore, you spent 7 nights there. And after spending the 7 nights, you then got on the next flight that took you to Australia, Sydney. The unfortunate thing about that was that you spent 1 night in Sydney, Australia, which is kind of interesting, really, to think that you go to Australia for 1 night, but hey, that's how it was. And I was lucky enough that I have friends who lived in Sydney, and so on the couple of times that I went, I used to meet up with these friends and have dinner with them. And the trick, of course, was to try and stay awake, because the flight from Singapore to Sydney was about, 8 hours, and that was done during the night, and so you arrived in Sydney early hours, no, not early hours, in the morning. And so then to try and keep awake and actually do what you wanted to do and see who you wanted to see was quite a feat, really. But we managed to do that, and it was great. And I must say, I love Sydney. We stayed in one of the great things about staying with someone who works for an airline, you stay in very nice hotels. And the hotel in Singapore and also in Sydney was a wonderful place. The one in Singapore was right on a man-made beach, and it was gorgeous rooms. But Sydney I loved, yeah, and so managed to go there a couple of times. Once I went to Singapore to meet up with Kieran, didn't manage to actually get on the flight that he was working on. So I took a flight from Frankfurt to Singapore, and that was a 13-hour flight. So that was great, and I did that on my own, which was quite an achievement for me to manage to do that. But yeah, hey, the first pic is of me sitting in a herbalist shop in Singapore, and then the rest of them are of Singapore, and then finally the last couple of shots are of myself on a boat in Sydney Harbour. Enjoy.